to not make families that could be potentially broken and things like that? What are the preventative actions that we need to discuss?
Oh, it's very simple. It goes back to the original marry before you carry. We need to stop dating, stop experiencing a bunch of people, stop having a bunch of sex, stop putting yourself in a position to have to sacrifice.
So if we stop dating, how do we get to marriage?
You shouldn't even be, and I talked about it.
Yeah, I asked him that.
You shouldn't be dating. You shouldn't even be opening up yourself up to all of these spirits from different men in the first place.
How do you meet your husband if you don't date?
You already probably met him. He's the person that has your best interests at heart. He's the person that already was your best friend. He's the person that had your best interest. Most women skip over the man that they were supposed to marry already. That's the key. And then y'all pick the guy that y'all want. He ruins you, and then you expect for another guy to come back and pick up the pieces for you. That's not the way to do it. We remixing what relationships are supposed to be. You ain't even supposed to be dating until you get married.
So you met him at a quick trip, but you never.
What's going on, y'all? So I gotta agree with Anton Daniels 100%. If you notice the women in the video, this is easy. Look how disingenuous she's being. They're trying to get him off of his point because they know what he's about to say would actually work, but it's something that they don't want. Because he's about to tell them that, no, y'all knew guys that really, really, really liked you. And you didn't want them because they weren't popular. They wasn't cool. They wasn't on the basketball team. They wasn't hood enough. They wasn't, and this is, I'm talking about high school years. Like a lot of these women, I told y'all the story of the chick who was crazy over me. When we used to go to the skating ring, I was 12, she was 11. Crazy over me. I was like in the 6th grade. I remember when I got to the 8th grade, she was a year younger than me, and she was in the 7th. She came to the school hugging on me. Hey. By the halfway through the year, dude, she was already getting ran through by dudes, the little hood dudes. 7th, 8th grade. One dude actually put a picture of her up on the wall in the stairwell, making fun of her sexually. It was bad, dude. And all because she wanted to date these type of dudes. This is a girl who came from a 2-parent household that was doing very well. I knew, see, what Anton is talking about. Look, I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to bring in the next clip, and I'm going to wrap this up. But what Anton is talking about, he's talking about creating a family dynamic. They're saying, how do we eliminate single-parent households? He's talking about marry before you carry. Marry the right man. Marry the man that's going to be the best father. You okay? A lot of these women they're not picking the best fathers. And you marry the guy that's going to be the good father, and you guys create, you go out and meet family, married couples that have the same thinking, same financial area, or the same values as you. Right? And y'all build a community. That way, once you get to about 5 to 7 different families, y'all can throw stuff at the house, throw events, and y'all's kids can hang out with each other. That's what he's talking about. That's how you keep your daughters from dating Tyrone Pookie, because she's girlfriends with girls and little girls that come from families that y'all hang out with. So when they go to school, they aren't derailed by what's hot and what's not. That's how you eliminate that. Teaching your daughters how to be wives, right? And not husbands. But I'm going to give y'all this next clip, and y'all let me know what you think, and then I'm going to be right back. All right, guys? Y'all have a good one.
Most people.
That's not true.
Because I'm sure looking at my memory book
I really do like your train of thought. I just feel as if I got a couple questions. First and foremost is, how old are you?
41.
Okay. Strike one. Second question, where are you from?
Detroit.
Born and raised.
Mm-hmm.
Strike two. Mm. When you understand the world is different in every area.
I done traveled the world.
Yeah, but at what age?
My whole life.
What age?
My whole life.
Give me your first age where you
13.
You was 13. No. Give me your first age where you experienced life as a man in a different state. Outside
13.
of the Midwest area.
As a man?
As a man.
18.
18. Where'd you go?
Ohio.
Outside the Midwest.
Outside the Florida.
Okay.
19.
19. Who were you with?
My father.
As a man, by yourself, Do I have to do this over with you? Because we could go back and
What
forth.
do you mean as a man by
As
myself?
a man, as an adult, I'm not talking about with your daddy on your side. I'm not talking about with your mother on your side. I ain't talking about your uncle, your cousin. When did you take your nutsack and run around by yourself as a man with a friend in a different place? At what
I
age?
don't know
What,
if
a
he
friend?
did that because he got
I got married
married.
at 22 years
but
old.
this
big
is
dog.
this is what I'm
I
trying
got
to.
married at 22. I
Exactly.
was intentional.
So
I
this-
chose my
hold on,
wife
hold on,
when I
hold
met
on.
her.
All right, now I wish Anton could just FaceTime me and he could have tagged me in on this. So the angle that this guy is using is he's saying that, first of all, he's saying that Anton has been married for 20 years. You got married at 22. So you don't really know what's going on out here. That's number one. And then number two, he's trying to say, like, where have you traveled to? It's different in all parts of the country. No, it's not. When it comes to black people and how black people date, how black women date, it's all the same. Now, if I was there, he would have been like, oh yeah, going with your father and traveling is not the same as traveling as an adult. Bro, I used to go to Atlanta as a teenager with my dad at 14, 15, 16, 17. And my dad would just hand me the car and I'd just go drive around everywhere. Like, cause my dad was like, after 7 o'clock, he's done. And I'd be out till like 12, 1 in the morning. So you telling me I don't experience Atlanta? And this is back in the 112 days, back when Peachtree alone used to be crazy. So that's just Atlanta, right? Back in the early 2000s, right? So let's start there. Oh, well, where else have you been? Not with your dad. Bro, my dad took me to Vegas. There's another one. Took me to Vegas at 22. My dad took me to Vegas at 22, right? Again, my dad would be in at like 7, 8, and I would go out, walk the strip, hang out, go to the clubs until 3, 4 in the morning. So to sit up there and say, oh, no, where have you gone by yourself? Because if you're not by yourself, you haven't experienced it. That's lies. He's just trying to come up with ways to combat and take up for these young ladies for saying the wrong things. This is what Tony Gaskins was talking about. You shouldn't have too many voices, too many people talking, because a lot of people are disingenuous. They're trying to debate versus getting to the actual facts. He would have said, where have you traveled? By 21 or whenever I told you, 22, my dad took me to Vegas. I went to Vegas a year after that. But just before that, at my 22nd birthday, I met a girl in Atlanta, while I was in Atlanta, that was from Seattle. I flew out to Seattle 2 months later and hung out. And it changed my life. It changed my life. Now we're talking about, bro, this was what, late 2000s, like 08-ish. Yeah, this is like 08. So meeting this woman, she was nothing like the black women where I was from. And this is why you got to be careful, because the guy made up the point, oh, it's different everywhere. No. It's not different. You have, it was the same up in Seattle. And what the difference was, I'm going to come back to my point about families making sure their daughters don't meet the wrong men. This girl lived in Bill Gates' neighborhood. So obviously I'm doing well enough that I met their daughter in Atlanta and I didn't live there. Then 2 months later, I'm flying to Seattle and meeting their daughter and hanging out with her. Do you know that the family was like, that's not good enough. Like they wanted, he didn't graduate from college. See, this is what parents are supposed to do. Now, am I a good guy? Yes. But see, her family had a big influence on who she dated because they didn't want her going out there getting pregnant by some random dude. That's what Anton is talking about. That's what he's talking about. Her parents stepped in and had boundaries. No, he didn't graduate from college. I didn't graduate from college. So they felt like I wasn't qualified. Now, do I feel like that's stupid? Yes, because she missed out. Yes, because she missed out on a good opportunity. But I understand it and I respect it because they're trying to keep her from nonsense. All right? So that guy would have said, where have you been? I went to Seattle. I've dated girls, I've probably been on, like, no lie, I've probably been on 10 dates. Brunch, dinner, after the club, get something to eat, over 10 times in Vegas alone. I've been to Vegas probably 20-something times. I've been on probably 10 dates in LA. I've dated a few girls out in LA. I've dated a couple of girls out in San Francisco. Met a girl in Vegas who was from San Francisco. Went out there. Bro, took the girl that I was with at one point to San Diego. Hung out there. Okay? So, I'm not even talking about Miami. Because if you look at it, I've been to New York, Chicago, spent plenty of time in Chicago. Plenty of time. 7-8 times. Spent a lot of time out there by myself in the snow. Been snowed in out there downtown. Had a ball. I've been all over. You know why a lot of black women don't like the LA? If you ask most black women, oh, what you like, LA or Miami? They're going to choose Miami. You know why they choose Miami? It's because when you go to Miami, everybody's on one or two strips. Ocean Drive and Collins. Everybody's in that little strip. You go to LA, it forces you to get a rental car. You don't need a rental car in Miami. LA is so big and huge, you got to get around. You got to get out. So a lot of black people don't like to go to spots like that unless it's Atlanta or Houston. And black people have fun and kick it the same exact way. There's no difference. So that guy's wrong. I've traveled all over. I've met women all over. I'm not even talking about the little towns like Kentucky and Alabama, North Carolina. I'm not even talking about those cities. I'm talking about the major cities. I've been to all of them. DC. Come on, man. This dude's trying to make the point, oh, yeah, you just ain't been up. No, I went to every place that I just named you. I went before I was 27 years old. The girl that I was with in a 4-year relationship, I went to all those places before I got into a relationship with her, except for one place, and that was San Diego. That was the only place that me and her went to that I had never been. Oh, I'm sorry, Miami, because that was the first time I had been to Miami with her. So Miami and San Diego. I've probably been to Miami, bro. I've been to Miami 5-6 times in the last 2 years. Probably been to Miami 20-something times as well. And I just go, honestly, when I go to Miami, I just go for the water. I go to get a boat and rent it and drive around and kick it and eat good. I don't really, I mean, I'm on Collins and Ocean, but I'm going through there to get to where I need to be or to eat brunch or something. But I'm not there kicking it because all black people hang out the same way around the country. That's why you see women going to Jamaica and doing the same thing. Black women, look at the trips that they take. All the same trips. Am I lying? Anton actually has a perfect point. And I wanted to give this point at the end of the video because I know I can't go into too far of a detail on why it's important, because I know girls that grew up with two parents and the parents were lazy because we think, oh yeah, she makes good grades, we got money, we can send her off to college, we get her everything she needs. That's the worst thing you can do to a young girl is spoil her without some type of structure. Because I watched this girl that I used to be crazy over this girl when I was 11 or 12. And what Anton is talking about, our families used to hang out, right? Our families used to hang out. And we ended up going to high school together. And what happened, I'm just going to be honest. Me and her was both, she was on the basketball team. I was on the basketball team. She dated some of the other more popular guys that was probably better at basketball and whatever. And, you know, at that time, it was just like, all right, we cool. We like family. So I never, you know, I'm never going to get this girl. So I just was doing my thing by the time I was 9th grade. But fast forward to our early 20s and to see like what happened with her. I can't go into detail, but it's the worst thing. She's not dead or anything, but it's the worst thing that can happen to a woman if you're a father or a parent. And to see that happen and to see her struggle from her early 20s because some dude done her super dirty, some dude that never planned on marrying her. This dude was supposed to be going pro in the NFL, didn't go right, done her dirty. And I'm not going to go into detail about what happened, but just think of the top 3 things that if you're a parent and you raising a daughter or a son and this thing happens, that's what happened. And she's struggling with it from her early 20s to now. And I'm in my mid-30s. We're the same age. So that's what Anton is talking about. These women are up here on this panel like, oh, look at me, I made it out. No, not everybody's supposed to struggle. I don't want people going through what I went through. Yeah, look at me. Yeah, look at me, I made it. Yeah, I was a felon at 16 years old. I was a felon. Not these little hood dudes that you seen in high school getting weed charges or getting caught with a gun. I done a half a year in the worst facility in Tennessee. I was in there with all the Memphis dudes. Y'all talking about Memphis now. I was in the facility with all the goons. As a 16-year-old. 6 months, half a year. I lost baseball scholarships. From that, I lost a lot, man. And am I going to go around, oh, man, look at me. Look at what I made it through. No, I don't want you to go through that. That's the difference between men and women. Women want to say, oh, well, yeah, I dated Pookie and Ray Ray, and then I just made it out. Hey, you'll be okay. You'll find a way. I found a way. No. The goal is to break the cycle, and Anton gave y'all a perfect plan, and y'all don't want to stick to it because y'all want to be cool. You want to do what you want to do. Man, I love this topic. I wish I could have been there. I can keep going, but you know what? I'm going to do a part 2. I promise you, I'm going to do a part 2. It'll be out Monday. This will come out tonight. Y'all have a good one.